Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Jo will be on her way, I'm sure, momentarily. And there she is.
Coming a mile away.
So did everybody get the email today and the reading?
It was a long one.
What was the reading today?
I saw it.
Yes. Yesterday's was immediacy, and it was all phrasing. There was no discussion at all. It was all just this big long list of questions about how you are. But now I don't remember what today's was. How terrible. Anyway.
It's going to be Tai Chi.
So a lot of the discussion in the readings for the last couple of days have been, we're in that stage of yang where everything's in kind of the outward view, but we've reached a point where we're seeing outward so far we're looking back at ourselves to find out how it started. How did we get here? Why are we doing this? And so a lot of the questions are about that. And a lot of the readings have been kind of pointed towards, this is it. Do these things. Remember this path. Do this stuff. So we just passed the 9 fields or fields reading, which is probably one of my all-time favorites for this time of year, because it reminds us that, we're a little scattered, but if we have a focus in each one of those areas, it ties it all together. And it makes it much easier for the scatteredness to actually mean something. And at this time of year, scattered is normal, because yang is like going and we're crazy and everything's in the movement of things. And so there's a lot to be said about simplicity. There's a lot to be said about introspection and things like that while the energy is up. Yang has matured. Yang realizes it needs yin and is starting to ask itself questions which are yin questions. How did I get here? What am I doing? Why do I do this? How do I make this effective for both me and others? How do I interact with other people in a nice way? Those are all yin questions, and yang is very determined to figure it out. And so the reading today was really looking at it both directions. So it's starting to change. We're actually starting to think about yin while we're in yang. And a couple of the last sessions we've talked about that is yang is really this little tiny energy. And yin is everything that makes it work. And so it's kind of this really funny stage when we talk about yin is really just pushing you along. It's because the sensation is so different from the yin sensation. The yang sensation is, just go and all that. And yin is like, whoa, hang on, make sure you can't step there. It's like, so it kind of is all there. And yang is just this really small moment in time where we realize, I can do anything with yin, right? As long as I have yin. And so we start looking at the Tai Chi movements and being more applicable with the way that they work and why they do what they do. So the last couple of weeks we've been talking about like the silk reeling exercise, getting the energy to flow up and to a point in the hand. Last week we reversed that again. We kind of talked about bringing the energy in and dropping it down. Well, last week we actually did the Tai Chi movement with coming up and bringing the energy out to the hand and immediately draw it back down the body and back into the legs so that I can turn and start the other move, right? And so we're going to do those exercises and use that idea of breath and intention to get the energy to move up and out, and then draw it back in and down, and then up and out, and back in and down. Just like we talk about with the breathing exercises, right? The breathing exercise is expansion, and then simple contraction, and the energy rises in the body and falls in the body. It's the same principle as the Chi Gung. We just move it to moving. So not just the moving Chi Gung, but actually moving, right? Everybody nod your head. Okay, good.
Okay.
All right, so let's start with a couple of breaths. So find a relaxed position to stand if you can stand, or sit if you can sit. Relax the arms and open the body. Round the arms. Rest the tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth, just behind the front teeth. Take a deep breath. Feel the body expand and blow up like a balloon, and then exhale. Feel the body slowly shrink back down and contract slightly. And then again, when you're ready, inhale, fill up. And one more when you're ready. Okay, so you feel that in the body when you open up and expand and kind of fill the body, and then let it be full for a second. Then when you exhale, you can feel the body contract, right? We want to feel that feeling to start with. So go ahead and take one foot, doesn't matter which, place it forward. Get that chair out of the way. That's okay. Don't want to trip. That's right. Okay, so from this position, we want to kind of make a big bear hug. We want to kind of curve the back and suck in the body a little bit. And then we're going to reach out and inhale. And open up the arms really big. And then exhale. And get back into that hug position. Round the shoulders, around the body. Inhale and expand and out and open again. And this time really stick out the chest and turn the hips down and kind of open the belly, and then exhale and come back. And then change feet, trade sides. Switch hands, so the right hand is on the top if you're right-footed, and left hand is on the top if you're left-footed. And then inhale and come up. Nice arch out of the back. And then exhale. And arch the other way. So you're really kind of rolled up in a ball. And then inhale. And exhale. Good. Okay, relax for just a second. So that's the core. We want the core to feel that nice expansion and contraction. And at the same time, what we're going to do is we're going to roll the weight from the back foot to the front foot, and we're going to bring the hand out. Just like we were doing, only now we're going to do it with the body moving with us, and we want to feel the energy that's filling up flow out to the hand. And we want it to end out at the fingertips. And then when we exhale, I want to feel it coming back down into the body, back down into the leg, and then grounding. So I'm going to be in this position. I want to feel it down here in the leg. So put your weight back on the back leg. And then as I inhale, I'm going to roll forward, bring my hand out, and I want to feel that nice full feeling in my hand. And then exhale, I want to draw it back and bring it back down into that hug position. And then inhale and roll out. And exhale and come back. One more. And exhale. Good, and then change sides. So the opposite hand is on top. Back on the back leg. Inhale slowly and come up and out. And then exhale and bring it back. in. And exhale back. One more. And exhale. Good. All right, and then relax for a moment. Okay, so this is the general idea, right? We've got this expansion and contraction happening throughout the body. And at the same time, we want to feel that energy that's filling up go to a specific place and then come back from that spot and circulate back through the body. So when we're in the winter time and we're talking about this exercise, we can actually feel the energy rise up and sink down, kind of like the wave, right? If we're at the ocean and we feel the wave come up and then come back down again, it's much simpler and it's much more internal. Where this is external, we feel the body filling up and we feel the energy on the surface of the skin, right? And so Negung, Weigung, the brushing exercises, right, are really, really good this time of year because it's out on the surface more, right? The chi is circulating through the body and filling us up and getting completely out on the surface. If you're in the sun during the day, you definitely want to do this. If you go out and exercise on a regular basis, as soon as you're done exercising, you got that little bit of tackiness on your, get a towel and rub your skin down, you know. Oddly enough, it's this time of year, right? It's that little bit of scrubbing the skin that stimulates the most amount of the Wei Chi in the body, right? Okay, so those are, yeah, that's okay. So now comes the medical portion, right? We talk about all this Chi Gung and Tai Chi has got to have this medical principle behind it. And the medical principles rely on all of the channels in the body and all the meridians in the body and all the pressure points that are available. Now, we've talked about this many times before. The pressure points are synonymous on the hand and the feet, right? They're very similar. It's like we used to be quadrupedal at some point. And more than likely somewhere in our existence we were fish. And we, you know, we're not really sure, but we kind of think so from all the stuff that we've figured out. And so one of the things about the movements that we're doing is rotating around the feet, rotating the energy around the hand, right? And so when we're doing this move, I don't want to just go front to back so much as I want to start on the inside of my foot. I want to roll out to my toes, roll to the outside of the foot, and roll back on the outside of the foot back to the heel again. So I'm going all the way around the perimeter of my foot. And I don't know if any of you have done what's called pressure massage, which is just pumping. It's not really rubbing. Yeah? Yeah, it's just pumping, right? All they're doing is they're pressing on different parts of the body. They're not rubbing the muscles so much as they're just squeezing and letting go, and squeezing and letting go, and squeezing and letting go. This is the same theory. All I'm doing is I'm applying pressure to the different areas of the foot as I'm going around. I'm not really rubbing the foot, although that's not a bad thing. We do this every day. Whenever we walk, we're doing this exercise, but we're not connecting to it. If we connect to it, then we can sense more of it. We can get more energy from it, and it can stimulate the meridians better. All the channels and all the meridians in the body are directly connected to organs in the body, and the pressure points on the feet and the hands and the ears reflect the organs of the body. So those three areas are the best for massage and for use, for stimulation or relaxation. We walk every day. Hey, what a concept. People that walk all day long and don't sit, right, have better health than people that sit all day. Partly because of a lack of stimulation and circulation, but it's also partly because we collapse our organ cavity. And this is very, very common. Even people that sit up and try to maintain a good sitting up position when they're on the computer, do this.
It's terrible.
Yeah, just look at this. Right? As soon as I fold forward, I've collapsed a third of my organ cavity. Ugh. Right? There's another show on television now, Intelligence for Your Life, with John Tesh, Connie Selleck, and something Gibbs, or Gibb something. Anyway, the three of them are just sitting behind a desk talking about all the things that could be intelligence for your life. And a lot of it's just simple stuff. You know, don't eat the last slice of pizza.
Why not?
Exactly. Why not? Right? But usually the idea is by the time you get to the end of a pizza, you should probably stop. You know, that's a lot of greasy, bready kind of stuff. So yeah, pizza, one slice, maybe two, but don't eat the last. Just don't eat the last slice. So one of the one of the discussions they had the other day was medical doctors, which of course there's a lot of discussion about what medical doctors do nowadays, but medical doctors in the know are saying that if you sit at a computer for more than an hour at a time, you're congesting your digestion. So you don't want to do it immediately after eating. You don't want to do it before you go exercise. It's like, by the time they got done saying the don'ts, they said you might as well just stand up all the time. You know, which is why there's this great big deal on stand-up computer stations now. Everybody wants one. Yeah. Well, yeah, you know, it makes perfect sense, right? Okay, so the Tai Chi idea, Tai Chi loosely translates as grand ultimate. And so when they teach Chi Gung, they teach you about Chi. They teach you about breath. And they stimulate your blood flow. Like they give you herbs that specifically stimulate the circulation of the blood in the body. So the breath brings in the oxygen. The blood circulates the oxygen and the food that's in the stomach, right, into nutrition. And the rest, they say, is gong, work, right? Is just do it over and over and over and over. The nice thing is that little bit of repetition actually feels good. And when you do it, it feels relaxing, it feels euphoric. You get this nice body kind of rush going on. But it isn't all that there is, because they want you to get up and move around, right? And so then the grand ultimate is Tai Chi, right? You're doing the breathing exercises, you're doing the circulation exercises, and you're doing it in a set that you can do that kind of makes the brain lose where it is. It says, okay, well, I know that this move is next, and I know that this move is next, but you kind of lose the beginning and the end, and you just kind of stay in the moment and do the move, right? How many people have heard that being in the moment is best for your psyche? So psychologically, right? Psychologically, and Tai Chi is the grand ultimate. So, yeah, you know, it kind of works out. It kind of works out. Okay, so we've done brush knee before. We've done sowing seeds before. We've done wave hands like clouds before. Remember? Kinda, sorta. Fan through back, needle at the C bottom. Okay. So the idea is that the movements are both varied and similar, right? So they vary, and yet they're similar enough that it's not like completely unusable or unreal, right? So we're going to go through a couple of the exercises. We're going to get that nice movement in for a couple minutes because I left it too long again. And then we'll close. So start on one side or the other. Right? So turn at a 45-degree angle, right side back, left side forward. Come into the nice little hug position. We're going to step out on the inside of the left foot. Roll the foot down as I come out. Roll out to the toe. Around to the outside of the foot, back to the heel, and then pick up the foot. It should turn out all by itself. And then step out, inside of the heel, inside of the foot, roll out, roll around the foot, back to the heel, pick it up, pop. It should turn out by itself. And one more. And back. Good. All right, so this time put on the inside of the heel and start your inhale. Feel the hand fill up. Exhale, feel it come back, roll to the outside of the foot, and step out. And one more. Good. All right. And then head for the wall. So how'd that feel? It's kind of tough getting all those little components together, but once it starts to happen, not too bad. Yeah, not too bad, right? Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. Start by facing to the right, right foot back, left side front. This time we're going to inhale first. Step out, brush knee and exhale. Roll back and inhale. Step out on the inside of the foot, exhale. Inhale. And one more.
I got a shorter room.
That's right. Keep going if you want. Yep, absolutely. Excellent. So just kind of stand there for a second and check in with yourself. How does that feel in comparison to doing the Chi Gung exercises? Just the standing and breathing exercises. You get that nice kind of clarity, you get that nice relaxation in the body. Does this feel kind of the same?
My mind is busy.
You're more engaged.
I mean, I try to go like when I'm breathing, you know, I'm really concentrate on the breath. But when I'm doing this, it's like I gotta really concentrate.
Oh, okay.
I gotta remember
Okay.
what I'm doing.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead and head back over to the other side of the room. And so yeah, it really is kind of one of those catch-22s where there's a lot to think about when you're doing the Tai Chi. But at the same time, it really is just all about that breathing, that expanding and contracting kind of feeling. Just like when we're standing here doing that breathing, we want to kind of get to that stage, right? So when you're doing the Tai Chi kind of exercises, you really want to be not trying to think about all that stuff. What was it we read about earlier in, let's see, was it the early spring? I think early spring, one of the readings was all about you've got to go get educated. You've got to learn how things work. You've got to have an understanding of all of this stuff and then let it go, right? Because it becomes automatic. And that is the idea. We've been doing this breathing exercise so long, most of you just automatically get into it. I really don't have to tell you to bend your feet and grab the ground and do all that stuff. I say it just because I'm so used to saying it to everybody all the time. But you guys, you just kind of, okay, and you do the breathing exercises, right? You fall right into it. Tai Chi movements, daily movements, we want to get them to feel the same way, right? We want to kind of walk in purpose, but not go, okay, my foot's down, I'm rolling out, okay, my foot down, I'm rolling out, right? What was the early practice, right? Right? We don't do that. That's the mechanical way of walking, but that's not what we do. We know better, right? So it's kind of that finding all of this knowledge, letting it be there, but not have to just go. Every time you put your foot down. But it's good to practice it and think about that from time to time, because it's that connection, that reminder that, oh yeah, oh gosh, I've not been doing that. And then you let yourself do it, right? Okay. Any questions? Any concerns? Okay. All right, so let's do the closing exercise in the standing position. Take a couple of breaths. And when you're ready, turn the palms out. Inhale, rise up. Take a breath at the heart and lungs. And at the middle dantian and Mingmen. And the bubbling spring points to the bottoms of the feet. And take a couple more breaths and feel the energy flow from the top of the head, down the spine, through the legs, down through the bubbling spring points into the ground. And when you're ready, palms out, inhale, rise up. Take a breath at the heart and lungs. And at the dantian and Mingmen. And the bubbling spring points, bottoms of the feet. at the top of the head open up. Feel a little plant blossoming. The roots travel all the way down through the body and connect down into the ground. And when you're ready, palms up, inhale, rise up. So breath of heart and lungs. And Dan Tian and Ming Men. And the bubbling spring point to the bottoms of the feet. A couple more breaths, just feel the energy all around you, flowing through you, connecting to you. Any last thoughts or questions? Well, thank you for coming. Enjoy the rest of the day.